These are Hankook iON FlexClimate tyres designed specifically for EVs. Now, why it is designed specifically for EVs? In this video, we're going to find out what features of this tyre makes this designed for an EV. Now, as a high mileage user of an EV, I do about 20,000 miles a year in the north of Scotland, where it's raining, it's cold, it's snowy. We don't get very high temperatures on average over the sort of year, especially during the winter. So these are the sort of tyres what I'd be looking at to make sure the Tesla remains planted and safe on the road. Now, during the recent snowfall at the beginning of January, the Tesla was just like a giant model car stuck in the garage. It couldn't even get off the driveway, never mind being safe on the roads. The tyres what are on it now are only summer tyres. They still have some quite good tread on them, 4 on the back, 6 on the front, so you'd expect it to not be too bad. But because of the way the rubber on a tyre firms up on temperatures below 7 degrees, summer tyres aren't generally very good in the winter. Now, these tyres have been supplied by Hankook for the purposes of independent testing. There's going to be no script, no paid promotion, just my 20 years of engineering and driving experience to give you my honest opinion of what these EV-specific tyres are actually like in challenging winter conditions. Now, I haven't fitted these tyres yet because I wanted to get up close to them and see the inside of them and all sorts of things. I will get them fitted next week and I will be paying to get them fitted. Now, driving an EV is very different from driving an ICE car. EVs tend to be heavier, and this is a result due to the batteries, basically. The bigger the battery, the heavier the EV is. The Tesla Model 3 standard range plus is about 1,700 kilos, so it's not actually too heavy for an EV. As you go to the long range, this goes above 1,900 kilos. As you go to the Model Y, you're touching over 2 tons. Same with the Audis, same with the BMW electric cars. And the heavier the vehicle is, the quicker it'll wear through its tyres. More loads going into the sidewall as it corners, a lot more lateral loading as well, a lot more torque as well, so wearing the tyre quicker. If you compare this with the ICE car, so the equivalent ICE car of the Model 3 would be something like an A4 or a 3 Series. These tend to weigh about 1,400 to 1,500 kilos, so they are quite considerably lighter than an actual EV by a good few hundred kilos. And like I said, if you're going up to the 2 tons, almost half a ton lighter than an EV. Now, obviously in an ICE car, you have an engine at the front, you have a gearbox, there's loads of moving parts in this ICE car, what make lots of different noises. You're always going to get some form of noise intruding into the cabin. Now, obviously, if you drive an M3, E90, E92, you want that V8 to come into the cabin as much as possible because you want to be hearing that induction noise. Now, in an EV, you don't have any of these moving parts. The biggest contributor for noise is actually tyre noise on an EV. And this is where the EV specific tyre actually comes into play now. So in the cavity in here, we've got sound dampening foam fitted, and I measured this and it's about 30mm on all sides. Now, the tyres fitted on my Model 3 Standard Range Plus 235/45/18 with an XL Spec. This is obviously a stiffer sidewall to cope with them lateral loads of a heavier vehicle. Now, the tyre label, it's rated B for fuel efficiency and it's also rated B for the wet. Now, for an all-season tyre, I think this is quite a good compromise, but we'll see on real-world testing what it's actually like in the rain. The rubber in these tyres should be good for below 7 degrees and shouldn't firm up at all, due to it being designed specifically for all-season use. Now, I went on a few websites just for comparison on how much these tyres are. So they're between 190 and 210 pounds fitted. You can get various discount codes if you work the sales. So there was a January sale on recently. There'll be an Easter sale on. There's many different sales on what companies incentivize you to go into their workshop to get new tyres fitted. So if you time it right, you can probably get these tyres for about £200 per tyre fitted. That may sound like a little bit more compared to other brands, but these tyres, I've measured them, and at some parts of the tyre, it's almost 9mm of tread. So that's a lot of tread for a new tyre to have. Most new tyres only have about 7.5 to 8mm of tread. These have got 8mm and above. So you're getting that extra millimetre, which I think is fairly reflected in the price. Now, I've measured my Bridgestones on the Tesla as well for the tread depth. 4mm at the rear, 6mm at the front. And I've done a few tests just with my phone on a decibel app. It's not the most accurate, but it's all I've got in terms of testing noise and ambient sound. Now, the weather up with me where I live has rained for the past 10 days and it snowed before that. So I hadn't really had an opportunity to test these tyres, the road noise of the Bridgestone tyres on actual dry roads. It's not been dry for like 6 weeks. This gives more noise intruding into the cabin because a wet tyre is noisier than a dry tyre, which is probably a good comparison. So I was measuring between 70 and 72 decibels on the Bridgestone tyres at a speed of 60 miles per hour. And I plan to do the same test, same road, same wet road, with these tyres as well when they're fitted in a few weeks. On my daily commute so far this winter, I've got between 230 and 280 watt hours per mile. I recently did a winter review of the efficiency of my Model 3, and you can check out the video link now. So while we can't directly compare older tyres with newer tyres, because it isn't really a fair comparison, you'd have to get brand new tyres, put them on the vehicle, do the same roads, do the same conditions. I just can't do that. So although it's not really accurate, I've got some form of data just to sort of compare it to and give some sort of context to it as well. Now, if you want to watch a review of these tyres fitted, do subscribe along and do look at the playlist as well, what will be made up of these tyres. So there'll be between about 4 and 5 videos of these tyres on various different tests over the coming months and the coming year as well. So you can make an informed decision of where you want to buy these tyres. But I'll be putting these tyres through the test in an independent review and giving my honest opinion on what I think of the tyres. So join me next time when these tyres are actually fitted. I'll see you next time.